This is Tomonews for Monday, January 23rd.
4 men force elderly co-worker to drink himself to death. In Taiwan, police have arrested 4 men and to the death of one of their co-workers. A 54-year-old man identified by his last name Ye had been severely beaten by his 4 younger co-workers and forced to drink several bottles of gaoliang, or sorghum wine. Gaoliang is a strong distilled liquor made from fermented sorghum and is made and sold in Taiwan. Gaoliang ranges between 38 and 63% alcohol by volume. The 4 men tied Mr. Ye to a chair and alternately beat him with sticks, a metal chair, and empty bottles before forcing him to down several bottles of gaoliang. It was after hours, and the 4 men then abandoned Mr. Ye, still tied to the chair. In the morning, staff were horrified to discover the beaten body of Mr. Ye still tied to the chair. He died of acute alcohol poisoning sometime in the night. The 4 men initially claimed it was a drinking game gone horribly wrong, but ultimately admitted to the beating and murder of their former colleague, and a court date has been scheduled for their sentencing.
11-foot python chomps man's trouser snake while he sits on the toilet. It's morning and nature's calling, so naturally you drop your drawers and holy crap, my dick! At least that was the case for Athaporn Bumachai recently. During the Thai man's morning bathroom routine, a snake clamped its fangs down on his Johnson and refused to let go. Ow, 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 ow! But where most would cower in fear, the 38-year-old went balls to the wall and kicked the serpent's ass. But it wouldn't let go, and Athaporn was losing lots of blood. Then he got an idea and asked his wife for a rope, which he used to remove and restrain the monster reptile. Amazingly, Athaporn and his Willie survived the battle, although he did have to go to the hospital afterwards. He's reportedly recovering and in stable condition. But what about the python, you ask? It survived, and the authorities managed to release it back into the wild. So, after a bathroom battle for the ages, both snake and trouser snake survived. Quite the happy ending, is it not?
Deadly selfie. Camera flash blinded pilot in Denver crash. The pilot of a plane that crashed last spring, killing 2 near the Fort Range Airport east of Denver, was likely taking selfies with a passenger just before the crash, investigators have found. Shortly after takeoff, the pilot, 29-year-old Armanpal Singh, made a left turn, causing the plane to enter into a graveyard spiral, plunging to the ground below. The plane bounced before landing in a wheat field. Singh had a GoPro camera mounted to his plane, and while the crash itself was not recorded, video taken from the camera found near the plane's wreckage showed footage from earlier flights where Singh took selfies with his passengers. Investigators believe a combination of the flash and cell phone use disoriented Singh, leading to the crash. They also found Singh lacked the proper certifications to fly at night with 1 or more passengers.
Human teeth? Extra toothy chew offered with McDonald's fries. Earlier this month, McDonald's in Japan held a preference to apologize for a human tooth that was found in a box of French fries last year. A woman in Osaka discovered the tooth after buying a McDonald's meal through the takeout window. She contacted McDonald's representatives immediately. After examination, the tooth was determined to be a human tooth, although McDonald's representatives have not been able to explain how it got into the food. This is just another case of strange objects found in food this year. Previously, people have found a metal clasp in their pancakes, a piece of vinyl in the chicken nuggets, and a piece of plastic in a chocolate sundae. Earlier this month, a cricket was found in a jar of Japanese baby food. Gross.
Remains of missing Air Force veteran found in North Carolina lake. A cold missing persons case from 43 years ago has been solved. 44-year-old retired Air Force veteran Amos Shook went missing back in 1972, and authorities believe they have found his car, wallet, and remains at the bottom of Lake Rhodus in North Carolina. Shook's daughter contacted authorities at Caldwell County Sheriff's Department last month on a whim to ask them to look into the case again. Shook went missing without a trace, and the case was filed on February 18, 1972. Without any leads, the Sheriff's Department used sonar and a diving team to locate the 1968 Pontiac Catalina 30 feet below the surface of the lake. When they pulled the car out of the lake, they found out that it belonged to the missing veteran. Human remains believed to belong to Shook were found inside along with his wallet. Authorities don't believe it was a suicide or that there was any foul play involved in the death or disappearance, and the case is considered closed. But there are still some unanswered questions. Caldwell County Sheriff Alan Jones was quoted in a press conference as saying, "Finding somebody that's still alive that could answer those will be tough."
Indian teen gets tail surgically removed. A boy in India secretly lived with an 8-inch long tail growing from his back, which doctors say is the longest ever recorded. The boy's parents knew about the growth but feared social stigma and kept it hidden. It was only when the fleshy tail became painful that they finally sought a doctor. Human tails typically result from a compression at the tail end of the back and grow with age. If unchecked, they can lead to problems in the bladder and lower limbs. At age 18, the boy's 8-inch long tail had developed a bone inside it and rendered him unable to sleep or sit properly. Neurosurgeons successfully removed the tail, finally relieving the boy of his extreme pain and discomfort. Similar cases of human tails have been reported in India, though the growth tends to be a rare occurrence. A boy in Punjab was worshipped as the reincarnation of a Hindu monkey god because of the tail protruding from his back. The 14-year-old was born with the tail, along with a clubfoot deformity, and had trouble walking. He opted to have his tail removed last year, despite knowing he'd lose his monkey god status. Burglar captured after allegedly painting a dog purple. A man was arrested after breaking into a family's home and painting their dog purple last Saturday in Martha's Vineyard, Massachusetts. According to police, they responded to a call that a man had stolen a vehicle, crashed it, and fled the scene on foot. Soon after, another resident called the police saying their ground floor window had been forced in, various items were stolen, and their dog was painted purple. Then a neighbor told police a disheveled-looking man knocked on their door, asking for a man who didn't live there. That description led police to 19-year-old Felix Reagan. A Massachusetts state trooper noticed Reagan after seeing there was purple paint on his trousers that matched the paint found on the dog. After arresting him, officers found he was carrying prescription pills, a driver's license, and credit cards that were from the second home he allegedly broke into. While taking Reagan back to the station, he reportedly attempted to kick out the patrol vehicle's windows and kicked an officer at least twice. According to a police report, Reagan was also arrested in June for breaking and entering, vandalism, and being a minor in possession of alcohol. He now faces charges including breaking and entering, destruction of property, cruelty to animals, and battery on an officer. He may be charged further as the investigation continues. Demon to some, angel to others. This photo of what appears to be some sort of winged creature has gone viral, with some saying it's a demon, while others insist it's an angel. Richard Christensen from Levine, Arizona, posted the photo to Facebook on January 1st. In his post, Christensen asked, "What the hell do you see in this picture for reals? Anybody?" The post was shared 80,000 times before Christensen took it down on Wednesday. But many people are skeptical, suggesting the dark shape looming over the sidewalk is likely just a tree or a Photoshop job. But Facebook user Chrissy Love seems convinced of the photo's authenticity. Love noted that there weren't any palm trees in Levine that looked like a demon. "I knew Levine was haunted," she wrote. But what do you think? Is this just a tree shaped like a winged spirit? A Photoshop stunt? Or is it evidence of the supernatural? Let us know in the comments.
Woman stabs 2 pit bulls to death to avoid an attack. A woman out for a stroll with her 2 puppies was attacked by 2 pit bulls, but she fended them off with a bit of Boy Scout preparation. Debbie Duran was out walking her dogs with her friend in Apple Valley, California, about an hour east of Los Angeles. From out of nowhere, 2 pit bulls ran from behind the house and started trying to attack the pair and their dogs. Always be prepared is the motto both the Boy Scouts and Duran live by, and she carries a knife on her for self-defense all the time. She didn't hesitate to use it in this case, killing the 2 attacking dogs. Their owner, Kelly Suggs, not only lost 2 of her pets, but was given a $200 fine because the animals weren't properly leashed or in an enclosure on public property.